Hey, Craig Dostie, I'm back here, Dostie's View, and I wanted to cover Meidjo in a little bit more detail. I'm going to cut in some close-ups and some shots that I've taken in the field because what I explained to you last time, I was kind of just explaining things with my hands. I want to show you with a real boot in the field what's going on. So Meidjo has come out with version 3. What makes this version 3? A couple of things. The toe's been redone, and that's the most important thing that makes this a version 3. The other thing that's changed that's not very visible, the plastic is now eco-friendly plastic. Its P-backs are new for the flexor and for the base plate. And then the spring box where the claw is has been reinforced with carbon added to make it a lot stronger. So the cool thing about Meidjo overall is that it has more or less fulfilled all the things we dreamed about last century for the new Telemark norm, okay? It's lightweight. It has safety release. It's step-in. It has fantastic touring, super efficient touring. It has optional ski brakes, and which I'm not showing here because I don't like them. And you can actually also get, and I'm not showing this here either, an optional alpine touring heel. So if you wanted to, even though you're a freeheeler, you could lock the heel, all right? What makes version 3 different is the toe has been completely redesigned. Pierre filed a patent on it. It's so different. And without going into too many of the details of that, the main thing is it's stronger. It's 40% more retention power than Meidjo version 2. I would say it's even stronger than Ion. Pierre says maybe 30% more. I don't have the tools to measure that, but I can tell you I can feel the difference when I step into an Ion versus stepping into a Meidjo. Okay, you can detect it. But the main thing is, because of that, it has greater elasticity when you're downhill skiing. And when you're skinning, you don't necessarily have to lock out the toe to make sure that you don't come out. Now, the exception, of course, is if you're on an icy traverse, you still would want to lock out the toe. But what is it that makes this so different and patent pending? It is what I call, if you can see this here, most tech toes have a bunch of plastic in here so that when the toes are spread apart and compressed, okay, the way they get past this compression point, the cam point, is they reduce the friction by using plastic pieces, okay? Pierre completely changed that. He made it like a ball bearing. This is a ball and socket connection so that when you connect it, man, it just snaps tight, okay? And the beauty of that is it makes it really easy to step in. There's no more bumpers to align your toe. All there is this simple little scribed line, okay? You get that scribed line, you're good, okay? And here is a quick video in the field of me stepping in. Okay, the other thing that is different with Meidjo 3 is that prior to version 3, you had to prop up the spring box to step in. Here's a quick tutorial on that. Lift the spring box up so that red stub is in the bumper, and then slide your toe in so the front of the toe connects with those bumpers. Step down, click in, lower your heel until the claw slips over the duck butt, lift back up so it clicks, and you're in. In tour mode, again, lift the spring box up so that red stub is in the bumper,
push it down, and then lock it at the back with that touring wire. Step in at the toes, and then lock them out so they don't release while you're skinning. And then you can lift the climbing post as needed. Now, when you want to switch after skinning, if you're good, you can use a ski pole, but it's really hard to hit that touring wire. But it can be done. Otherwise, just use your finger, release it, step back down, lift up so you click in, and telly on.
Okay, so the beauty of this flat step-in is that it simplifies how you use Meidjo, okay? You don't have to prop it up on the kickstand like you do with the older spring box. You just keep it flat, okay? Step down hard. Now, I've learned that some boots don't work with this. It's not necessarily a brand or a model, just the tolerancing. There's no spec from the pins to the duck butt, okay? That's a floating spec. It's undefined. And of course, everyone's trying to make it correct, but occasionally there are some errors. So if you're gonna buy a binding like this or Lynx, make sure your boot works in those bindings, okay? Now, beyond that, so it's easier to step in, okay? The other thing is it's easier to flip to switch to tour mode, because instead of having to prop this up and then lock it, which extends this spring box so that the duck butt won't grab it, you just lift the new lower climbing wire, which is 21 millimeters high, gives you a 4-degree angle of lift, okay? It's just enough so that the second heel misses the claw here, all right? The other benefit to this is that, let's take out the springs. By the way, I'm using double springs here because I kind of like a medium flex, and I think most people would want this. Standard springs with the inner spring. The main thing is all the cavities that are on the normal spring box that has the kickstand, or what I call the shifter stub, it's missing. So you now have this great little roof that covers that cavity, and snow is not going to build up. But it still could a little bit, unless you take this, there's a hole back here at the back of the flexor plate. Make sure you fill that and cover that with anti-ice tape too, okay? Now, when you go with this though, what you lose is flat touring mode, and if that's super important to you, then you're gonna want to get the traditional spring box, okay? And that has lots of cavities, okay? And you're gonna want to put anti-ice tape here and inside here and on the flexor, and you still might get a little snow packing under there and some boot jack, especially if it's sticky snow. But probably not, or it'd be very minimal. I've done it, and I think it's bearable, okay? So that's Meidjo in a nutshell. It's all the things that you want. Lightweight, excellent touring, fantastic downhill skiing, releasable, good elasticity in the toes, an optional locking heel. What else? The only thing you might not like is the price. But you're worth it, because you've got a free mind because you already freed your heel. You don't have to lock it, even though you could if you want. You don't have to follow the herd with all those lockdown skiers, okay? And you can enjoy the Telemark turn because you can and they can't. So get out there and spread Telemark. See you next time. Adios.